It's your boy Zappa, King of the Giant Robots, and this is your tactical forecast for April 2023. If you're new here, I welcome you and thank you for watching. This is the monthly update video, which is like half update, half look back. You know how it goes. I don't think before I speak sometimes. I stammer a lot. Please, get used to it. I suppose let's go ahead and get started with the basic schedule. This month begins on a Saturday. It's Saturday. Hello, welcome to Saturday. I feel like I haven't done this in a year and it's only been like, a month. So with that, as continues every Friday, Saturday, and Sunday at noon Central Standard Time, we have Front Mission the First. We just tapped into the UCS campaign here at the beginning of the month, so I can't rightly predict how much longer, how many more episodes I have. There is already a plan in place for when we wrap up Front Mission First, both sides. I will say that I think it's an issue of early game where the game is more difficult than it needs to be, or at least maybe in my case, it presents you the capability and option to perform great deeds at the cost of your sanity, because you simply don't have the ability to customize or grind or practice and prepare yourself for the challenges to come. The first 4 stages in the UCS campaign do not allow you access to the arena, so it's a powerful case of good luck, fucker. But I've taken the time to grind, and hopefully things will proceed smoothly so long as I follow the correct guide so that I can do the secret missions in the correct order and trigger them correctly, because not all guides are created equal. Every Monday through Thursday for the entirety of this month, Super Robot Wars Alpha 3. It lines up perfectly with the exact right amount of episodes to end the last week of this month. That said, once again, there are plans in place for the follow-up. Have a drink with your boy. Wet thy whistle. And all of the good shit has come to pass. We have the Banprios. We have Shin Koryu. Everybody's getting their big moves. All the hype is popping off. Unfortunately, we have yet to, as of recording, conclude any series plots, but we are working on it. I'm going to check the flowchart real quick. And there is one last actual, words are hard. This looks like something that I did not write. I don't know. I don't remember writing that. Maybe I did. Whatever. There is one last route split choice, and I think it's based on... No, it's just one last choice, and then the end game. You have one final route split, and hopefully it's not so much of a route split as much as it is just, what is your plan of action? Back to the correct window. So, we previously wrapped up Treasure of the Rudras. That was a fun and interesting SNES RPG. But as stated, we have now picked up at yesterday SD Gundam Force Showdown. It's turning out that the character that I would prefer to play as is inherent hard mode due to attack range. It's very unfortunate that that is the case in this game. But I also hit the point where if I play the game correctly, I can grind so I can level things up and make the game not as hard. I just have to put up with a little bit of blah, as it were. Just a little bit of blah. But I also hear that the game is not very long. I scrolled through a strategy guide, and the game certainly isn't long. I am like 33% through the game, but I think because of the nature of its design, it's hard. Or, no, what am I trying to say here? It was probably designed with replay value in mind. Reviews I've seen say that playing straight through the game as one singular character does not really allot you enough experience or emblems or whatever you want to call your power currency to unlock all of your forms for one character. So we'll see how that goes. I'm certain that there's not any like new game plus content, but we're going to enjoy it for what it is. That will be, which is probably the first part that I should have said, every Saturday and Sunday at 3 p.m. Central Standard Time. This is the schedule change that I've been thinking about since I began Treasure of the Rudra. And here is where I'm going to implement it. Rather than doing 1 day, 2-hour chunks, where sometimes I don't have that time to sit and record for that long, I figure, and I think this game really plays well with it, twice a week, 1 hour, and this will also give me some time in between to throw down some grinding, as well as extra time for the last game with the most interesting schedule. We continue Theaterism Final Bar Line, except it's only Benjamin. Previously, this took over for Vampire Survivor. What is that word? Took over for Vampire Survivors as an everyday at 6 a.m. game. This is now changing to allot me time to continue at my very comfortable pace and still have free and personal time both on days on and days off of work. Theaterism Final Bar Line will be alternating days, Monday through Friday, with episodes releasing at 3 p.m. Central Standard Time. That is to say, we will have an episode on the 4th and 6th, Tuesday and Thursday, and then the following week will be Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, back and forth as such until the conclusion, which is whenever I play every story mode, and maybe if there's, a post-game story mode kind of thing, quest mode, I might come back on it with, say, DLC episodes if they come out after I've done everything else. If, maybe they decide to do character DLC, or a new series, or some kind of new game mode that's not online multiplayer. half a year subscription to something that I may not use consistently. No, thank you. With that rambled off and spoken of, I'm just going to leave the G Savior screen up here. Sometime this month in April, I believe the statement was that on April 7th, JDQ will release its lineup. I am only 33% hopeful that I get into GDQ with G Savior any percent New Game Plus. I don't have the best time, but I continue to run my time and improve my time, and I make sure that as I'm playing, I'm trying to implement commentary. If I don't get in, not the end of the world. Hopefully, friend and associate PMC Trilogy will get in with G Savior, and at least remotely. Hopefully, I will be allowed on his personal or virtual couch during the game. That would be fantastic. Fucking fabulous. Earlier in March, I had to get new cables for a second casual PS2 setup. Didn't realize that the old cables that I had been using that have the multi-console outlets, the plugs that will go from PlayStation, Xbox, and GameCube or Nintendo product, it was working on a mono system. Like, one side didn't work, so stuff sounded funky for an episode or two before I realized it. Of course, that was fixed before I had to record any following episodes on that console using that set of cables. The curious thing that now comes up is the order, or rather what games I will be playing at the same time. Looking at my shelf where I keep at least my PlayStation 2, 3, and 4 hooked up, my Switch is hooked up, and then I have a fifth console, which is currently my Japanese PlayStation 2. I wonder how many consoles I'm going to have hooked up when I start Alpha on Dreamcast. Or even then, what will come after SD Gundam Force while I'm recording that game? It's very curious to think about. I also fell into a hole of another YouTuber. Two YouTubers, in fact. One YouTuber is Jesse's Auditorium, who has done about 6 or 7 reactions to Super Robot Wars music. I've thrown some finances in his direction to behold Crest of Z's, so hopefully that will become a thing. The other YouTuber that I've run into goes by the name of Flightless Bird. He has appeared sometimes during my stream. I call him out as, "Hey Bird, welcome." He and I discussed recently, and we may collab on something, but we have to pin down what we want to do and how we want to do it. I spent an entire night at work trying to remember the name of a program and not just looking it up. Parsec was it. So, if we can't find a way to play something online together, maybe we can run something through Parsec, or maybe I will just be a guest commentator in a Let's Play, which is probably going to be some dope-ass SNES RPG. We will see. Phantom Brigade came out in the middle of March. I'd heard about it for years, like a couple of years, and then forgot it existed until it came out. I did do an episode of what is on that, and I will probably reuse that same footage. I've at least saved the original RAWs, and when that comes up on the roulette, I will probably re-release, re-upload Something to that effect, because I don't know if it's going to be months or years before I get to that. I at least like to think that when it comes to brand new releases, if it's not Super Robot Wars, that I need to be on that shit, this gives it time to let patches go through so everything gets fixed, even though that doesn't seem to be the case for Front Mission. I've had multiple crashes in the last few sessions that I've played, but it doesn't crash while I'm grinding, and nobody else I'm asking about has these problems anymore. Oh, it used to crash a lot, and then this patch came out. Well, why am I still getting crashes? What's so special about me? Or what is not special about me? What is cursed about me? And those are all the notes I took during March to remember to bring up. If you, the viewer, have any suggestions for mecha or maybe classic RPGs that I haven't already played, feel free to leave those in the comments below. I'm always open to suggestion. I also stream more frequently at twitch.tv/ace_zappa. I usually stream somewhere between 10 a.m. and noon Central Standard Time, with longer sessions on my days off, which are currently Tuesdays and Wednesdays for the foreseeable eternity. I currently have no plans for vacation, although I probably should have taken the weekend of WrestleMania off to watch that. Oh well, this is my life. Let us take a moment, run it back, and more consistently present the schedule to you. Every Friday, Saturday, Sunday, noon Central Standard Time, Front Mission first. We are in the UCS campaign now. The game may wrap up this month. We will see. Every Monday through Thursday at noon Central Standard Time, Super Robot Wars Alpha 3. The game will wrap up perfectly at the end of the month on a Thursday. Every Saturday and Sunday at 3 p.m. Central Standard Time, SD Gundam Force Showdown. Hopefully this game will get easier because I'm going to put some grinding time into it shortly after this recording. And lastly, until it wraps up, on alternating days between Monday and through Friday, so Tuesday, Thursday 1 week, Wednesday, Friday, and Monday the other, at 3 p.m., Theater Rhythm, Mystic Quest, But It's Only Benjamin, Final Bar Line, the gimmick run of the game where it is only Benjamin and one companion. You've been listening to the Leviathan theme. If you want to help my channel grow, please watch the videos to their completion, to as much as you can tolerate the sound of my voice and the inconsistent sounds of which cable is making staticky noises. Hit like. I don't know, maybe share the video somewhere if shit was good. If you happen to see something on Twitter about Super Robot Wars, it's like, oh man, this event happened in Alpha 3. Hey, here's an episode of the whole thing. Like, watch, comment. It tweaks the algorithm to let YouTube know that I am producing good and consistent content. Or at least consistent content. I stream, as previously mentioned, Ace_Zappa on Twitch. Check it out there. You can sub if you wish to help me get money so I don't have to go to the work job anymore and I can spend more time with my giant robots and you, the viewer. The last thing I should have mentioned previously was on the 24th of March, the G Savior podcast that I was a guest on dropped. Please check that out with Giant Robot FM. I will do the best of my ability to drop a link in the description below. If you do not choose to search it out on your podcatcher of choice, I've found it on Spotify, on iTunes, on Google Music. It exists on those three major platforms. and probably a few others that I am not privy to. Giant Robot FM are good people. Flightless Bird is also good people. Good night, Space Marines.